We're back here. That's the Foreign Films. We had Bill Majoros here earlier this week.
Great stuff.
Or was it last week?
And did they perform in the studio?
Bill just came by himself. He did the Billy Bragg thing.
Cool.
Guitar
Yeah.
all by himself.
Nice.
And it was good.
Good.
So we got Perry Wong here. And Perry, it's great to have you here in the studio. We met a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
Down at the
Metroactive.
Yeah.
Great event.
So now let's talk about, you do, first of all, I got to ask you about that.
Right.
You got a missing piece of the puzzle on your jacket. I don't know if we can show that, but are you the missing piece?
No, not really. This is Autism Speaks. So I was supporting a friend's charity.
Okay.
His child had autism, so we just supported them. You know, they had a fundraiser. So
Where was this?
This is over at the Albany Club.
Yeah, I did an autism thing about 4 weeks ago. They shut down a restaurant, and we had a bunch of people.
I mean, it's a serious situation.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of kids have it these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a great cause to help
Yeah.
out. Because
Good
I'm
for
with
you.
the Forest Hill Lions Club also.
Good for you.
So we give a lot of support to those type of
Excellent.
events and those type of causes.
Have they figured out why are autism rates? I know we weren't planning on talking this, but why is autism so increasingly prevalent?
I know.
kids?
I have no clue whatsoever.
Or did we not know what autism was, 30 years ago? It probably was there all along, but we're just starting
that's
to
what I'm
figure it
thinking
out.
too.
I don't know though.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
neither
think
do
about
I.
that because it's so hard on the parents.
Yeah.
To deal with an autistic kid, so
Absolutely.
expensive.
Absolutely. it is.
To like, what do you do?
Exactly.
And that's why you have to be doing this kind of stuff, right?
It's like the peanut butter sandwich thing, right? When I went to school, we were
I
eating
never knew
peanut
anybody
butter
with a
all the time.
peanut allergy. I didn't know any
No.
kids with peanut allergies going to school. I grew
No,
up,
I didn't
absolutely. So
And
that's
right
all
now
we
you
got.
can't even do anything.
no.
It's pretty tough these days. So I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just a chartered accountant. I'm not a doctor, so.
16 plus years in the business.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Bean counting.
Where did you go to school?
Actually, I grew up in Calgary, Alberta. So I'm
Okay.
actually from Western Canada.
Yeah.
I moved out here in the mid 90s.
We just found out it's one of the top 5 livable cities, Calgary.
Oh, Calgary's a great place to
Yeah,
live.
it is.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting as Toronto, though. Definitely
Well, it's
Toronto's
always
more
a
exciting.
boom and bust, I mean, it seems like, for 5 years, the real estate market's going crazy, and then it slows down a little bit, and then it's up again.
Well,
and it's
they
in
like
an
the
upswing
rodeo
right
out
now.
there, right?
Yeah, they are, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ride that bull.
Oh yeah.
So, but Calgary's a nice place to live.
Sure.
Toronto's great too. I think Toronto's got way more to offer in terms of entertainment, theater,
You kind of need a
causes,
car in
whatever.
Calgary, though, right?
Oh, Calgary, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like it's just so spread out. It's easier to drive around Calgary.
Yeah,
than
but also
Toronto.
people in Calgary don't tend to travel from one section to another section.
They stay in their
Exactly.
own
We're
area.
in quadrants in Calgary: northwest,
Yeah.
northeast, southeast, southwest,
West, yeah.
and you just don't go to different quadrants. It's kind of weird. But in Toronto, you would travel from Toronto to Mississauga to Richmond Hill to Markham. It doesn't really matter.
It's all those gangs in Calgary. There's a lot of gang warfare
they have
going on in the
gangs?
quadrants.
Really, I don't know.
know.
It's a pretty tame city, trust me.
Well, Barry, I'm from Winnipeg, so I mean,
Oh, yeah?
I know that sort of, and it's you talk about things more to offer in Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
come from Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
there
it's
is
just
much
a
more.
bigger-
Well, Calgary's a big
Yeah.
step up from Winnipeg.
Absolutely, it is.
It didn't used to be. They used to be sort of on par.
Kind
right?
of, as far as standard of living, things like that.
But they
But
lost
now-
their hockey team, man.
It's
they got
back,
it back.
baby.
Terrible.
It's back.
Was
But
it?
they don't have
Oh, yeah.
oil yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we don't have oil, but we got a professional NHL team back. So
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, okay, Bill, let's get to this, the personal investment stuff. First of all,
Sure.
why did you go into, like as a chartered accountant, there's a
Right.
lot of different things you could have done with that, right? Why
course.
did you choose to?
Well, I've always
to do
liked
this?
managing money. Always liked making money. And,
Sure.
I didn't
Good
really want
hobby.
to be, stuck in an office doing
Yeah.
something. So I'd rather be out there meeting people, helping
Yeah.
people, and generating wealth for people. Because if the more money people have, the happier they are. I mean, it's not the means of everything, but definitely it would help.
Well, yeah, it's not hard math to do. When people are sustaining themselves, it's
Exactly.
great. But when they're wealthy, and that brings into your pocket as well too. So
Right.
I mean, it's
The way I see it, if I can save you taxes,
Yeah.
use my accounting background as a
Yeah.
CA, save you on the tax side, do strategies that are tax advantage.
right.
Why not?
Why not?
Makes sense.
Exactly. It's a good service.
So how do you work with people? Do people get in touch with you, and then what do you do? What do you do when somebody comes to you and sits down with you? Do you do a full kind of financial plan for them,
yeah.
or what's the process?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I usually get customers from word of mouth, just people just say, hey, go talk to Perry, or
Yeah.
me meeting people in different events and all that. But generally, obviously, I have to know what the individual is, and I have to know their needs analysis. I have to know my client very well and know what their background is, what their risk tolerance is, what their current financial situation is, what their goals are. And all
Oh yeah, you got to do your due diligence just
for
to
sure.
find out what direction you're going to go with.
I mean,
them,
everyone's
right?
different, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not a cookie cutter type of answer for everybody. I mean, a lot of times nowadays, unfortunately, your average Canadian would just walk into a bank, and the bank would just give you a cookie cutter type solution. I mean, pretty much everyone is the same for everybody who walks into a bank.
Right.
I mean, their choices are very limited
Oh.
because their hands are tied, right?
Yeah.
It's not really the bank's fault. That's what the banks push, and whatever they push is what they're going to offer you.
That's right.
If that's what they sell, that's what they sell, right?
In other words, it's a bank-centered approach, not a customer-centered
Right,
approach.
and also the banks have a cornered market too, in a way, right? I mean, we've all been brainwashed since childhood to put our money into the banks, which is
Right.
fine. It's a
Yeah.
good step.
Like
It's a good
it,
first
right.
step, but it's
Sure.
not necessarily the best step to take for the rest of your life.
Not
you
to
know?
accrue or to make money,
Exactly,
off
right.
of the low
You
interest
need-
rates that you get out of
Well,
a
I
bank.
mean, what's the bank's purpose? The bank's purpose is
Make
to get
money.
money from you
Right.
and lend it out to somebody else
Right, of course.
via credit card or a mortgage.
Yeah.
Well, the only way they can make money is if they give you less money. So therefore, they would encourage you to put money in GICs and
Right.
term deposits and leave it in the bank. And that's why they have little incentives like, oh, if you leave $1,000 in your personal bank account, we're not going to charge you X dollars. Well, why would they charge you X dollars to hold your money anyways?
Right.
It's your money.
Yeah.
Why would they charge you to hold your money? It's like me taking your money and saying, I'm going to charge you to hold your money. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's accounting fees. That's what it is.
So, I'm just the guy that can provide you with an alternative. That's
Right.
it. A second opinion or another alternative that's
No, I-
outside from the vanilla type products. That
And
the
I think we
banks
need
have.
more of that. We need
Exactly.
more, to quote the term, out of the box thinking
Yeah.
when it comes to managing funds and making money.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
banks aren't going to do it for you. It's so
es-
true.
Especially, it used to be when interest rates were high that you could put all your money into your bank account.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
And
Back in the 80s, I remember
Yeah.
that. Bought a can of savings bond. That
Yeah.
was good.
But now people have to be so much more creative, or the situation's been is
Oh,
so
yeah.
much more complex now. In
Yeah,
Oh,
terms
you
for
have
of
to
sure.
be more
how do
savvy
you
when it
protect
comes
your
to
money
yeah.
from the inflation,
Yeah.
and from market
Yeah.
erosion, and that
Yeah,
sort
exactly. I
of thing?
mean, people look at the banks tend to push the risk of losing your money, which is true, right?
Sure.
I mean, you put your money in the market, let's say the market tanks, then yeah, you lost some money there.
Sure.
But they always forget the two other type of risks that are involved. Yeah, there's a risk of losing your principal, but what about inflation risk?
Right.
Look at the price of Tim Hortons coffee, look at the price of TTC.
Yeah.
It's all going up. Is your money that's sitting in the bank
Yeah.
earning you 0.5% going to beat inflation, meaning the
Right.
cost of living?
Right.
Like TTC's going up by 10 cents, Tim Hortons coffees are going up. Everything's going up in price. If my money sitting in the bank is not earning enough
Keeping
to
up.
keep up to that,
That's
and that's
right.
inflation basically,
That's right.
then I'm losing money. Am I not losing money?
Absolutely. You are, absolutely.
So, and then the third type of risk is taxation risk.
Right.
I don't have to tell Canadians how much
No.
tax we pay.
No, too
So
much.
if you can minimize the tax or try to find avenues where you
Loopholes
minimize
somehow,
tax,
yeah,
so,
sure.
I mean, the Tax Act is there for you to use.
So now you're working with people one-on-one. You also work with companies,
Yeah, for
businesses.
sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I deal with a lot of self-employed individuals,
Right.
a lot of corporations,
Right.
Anywhere I can do to help them save money, that's my role. I work with another chartered accountant who we do tax planning also with, accounting services
Right.
and all that. So it's a full service boutique,
Okay.
So I can handle all that.
Now you got, what's this thing?
No,
Oh,
sorry.
You're gonna call Stu.
My pants
Phone
are
call.
ringing.
I'll have to-
So, sorry.
I'm going to
Yeah.
commercial break.
Yeah.
Stu's got a
You
call.
do that.
What's this concept, real estate inside an RSP? That sounds very
Yeah, I mean,
exotic.
the bottom line is this, right? Like I was saying earlier, people need choice, right? And right now, when you go to the bank or any other advisor, they're just offering you two types of vehicles. Either put your money in something like a fixed income instrument, which is usually pretty safe, which is good, but it's not making you any money. You're lucky to get 0.5 point or 1%, maybe 2% if you're lucky. Then the other alternative is, well, I'm not happy with that because it's not beating inflation. I need to make a little bit more money. What do I do? Well, you can take your chances in the equity markets. And usually people will throw your money into, say, a dividend fund or a balance fund or something, some type of equity fund, which invests in equities or stocks or whatever. And that's fine and dandy, but it's kind of risky. It's kind of volatile. So I said to myself, I mean, a lot of my clients have asked me, they said, well, what about real estate, right? I mean, if you think about it, most Canadians have made their money out of real estate, right? I mean, has the cornerstone of most Canadian wealth not been real estate?
In Toronto, absolutely.
almost everywhere.
Yeah, but
I mean-
everywhere. Yeah, I mean that's
So the question I ask is, why is it not in your RSP? I mean, if RSPs is such a big portion of Canadians' wealth and retirement income, why is there not a real estate component in your RSP? And the reason is it just never was there. It was available for the guys up in the upper top 5% of the population, the wealthy. But what about the other 95% of the people, the working class people, the average Joe,
who 90% of their cash is going into paying for a home, right? So
is
why
that possible?
Yeah,
is it
can
a
we do that?
Is it or what?
Well, there's ways around it, right? And I found ways where you can put real estate type investments within your RSP. And the good news is because it's real estate, it's usually it's fairly secure, right? Because real estate's brick and mortar. Right?
That's true.
So you got either title to it or you either have a lien against it.
Right.
So you have protection and collateral for your RSP investment on that property, that real estate. And you're getting a nice stable return usually because real estate's fairly stable in most cases, right?
Yeah, you know what? Over the last, 20 years or so in this country, it's been a great investment.
Right. I mean, nothing's guaranteed in life, but the bottom line is if you have to compare equities or real estate tends to be a bit more stable. It's giving you some more stable returns.
Right.
And right now I think Canadians are getting tired of the volatility of the market and they just wanting something a bit more stable.
Right.
Now, the markets are volatile.
Yes.
Aren't they?
But there's good opportunity though, right? I mean, back in the crash of '08, you could say, gee, life is terrible. I just lost half my portfolio. But then in '09, if you were smart enough to take a plunge into the market, man, you would have made
great
some
buyer's
decent
market.
money.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So right now the market's a bit volatile. Maybe it's a good time to jump in. I don't have a crystal ball. People always say, hey, what's going to happen in the future? I mean, I'm not that intelligent where I can predict the future.
Well, especially in Toronto, too, we kind of do live in this bubble where it just, it keeps climbing and climbing. A little dip, it corrects itself a little and keeps going. But we're not seeing like the massive dips that we saw, say, in like 1990, where the real estate market was artificially inflated through, outside buyers and stuff that we were flipping properties left and right. But I don't think over the next few years that it's going to decrease anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, real estate did really drop too much, right?
No, I think in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice, right?
Like I say, we're going to see little corrections here and there.
Yeah.
But if those interest rates go up, that's going to have a devastating effect on the
if
real
they
estate
go up,
market.
and they probably will go up eventually. There's no question. But when will they go up? They will only go up if the economy goes well.
Right.
If the economy is still in the toilet, they're not going to jack the rates up.
No.
Well, I know they don't want to. Yeah, but there's something. I know it's all esoteric macroeconomics, but
it's
that's a big word.
But,
esoteric macroeconomics.
Isn't there something that happens if I don't know what it is? Somehow because people are buying. The U.S. is in super debt, right?
Oh yeah,
and
of course.
To them, so
they're hurting.
And so the Fed creates new money. They put it out, sell the Treasury bills, and most usually the Chinese are buying them or the Indians,
right?
And then
so invest globally. You can buy some global equities. Take a little chance on that.
But Canadians don't do that for some reason. I don't understand. I mean,
Really?
Canada's a great market to go to if you're living outside of the Canadian market.
Yeah, we all want to
tons
invest
of
in
external
Canada,
investors coming. Yeah, absolutely.
No.
But for some reason, I don't know a lot of people in Canadians, especially friends of mine in Ontario.
But that's what they're saying. They're saying that I hear stories like you really want to be in China and India because those economies are growing so fast, and I mean those countries are really ascending like very rapidly. Do you help people to pick investments around the world?
The key to any investment is diversification, right? You're not going to put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, I like real estate. I think equities should also be a portion of your portfolio. It's the key is to get the right balance for the right client. Also balance out your risk tolerance to make sure everything is in line. But yeah, definitely a foreign equity investment. I think Canada only represents a very small fraction of the entire world. Yes, mind you, it's a good fraction of the entire world, but we still should look at India and China as ways to invest, right? Yeah. So yeah, if you want to invest in equities there, I think that's one opportunity.
Yeah, the only thing you have to really think of, I mean, like right now, if you want to go down to the States, you can pick up some great cheap property down there, but the taxation on top of that, being an outside, is what kills
risky,
you.
Right?
Yeah, and that's the risky side of it. Yeah. I can only assume that the American market's going to hopefully pick up in the next couple of years.
I mean, it might be a good buy, right? If you think about it, the
absolutely.
U.S. is taking such a big kick in the head. Maybe it's time to jump in, put a few dollars down there.
Sure. I mean, for what you can get down there like for say $200,000, you can get a 3-bedroom house with a pool on the ocean in Florida, and you can't buy a garage here for that much money. So
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
a lot of the real estate though in the United States though, they have issues too, right? Like they have like condos, for example, where no one's paid any maintenance fees.
right? Yeah, the maintenance
You know what
fees
I
will
mean?
kill you. The
You know?
taxes for
I mean, can you imagine
ownership,
going to
yeah.
a condo that has not had maintenance fees paid for the last 2 years?
Oh yeah, sure.
No one's paid their maintenance fees. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen next year.
Yeah.
You know, things are going to start falling apart.
Yeah.
And they're going to have flooding.
Sure, yeah.
Situations.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Again, you got to
And
do
who's
your
gonna
due
pay for that?
diligence and look into, you know, the history of the property that you're buying. But
I mean, the bottom line is to diversify and look for different ways,
Right.
and to think outside the box. I mean, a lot of times people say, you know, I want to invest in equities, but I don't have the money. So what about getting an investment loan? Because I can help people get investment loans too, to invest in equities. So maybe you don't have the money today, but I can get you a loan
to get you started,
to get you started to
yeah.
invest in these type of equities and invest in the foreign equities that you mentioned too. Because like I said, you know, if you want to look into in China or India as ways to invest, why not use the bank's money to invest?
Well, right.
You know,
Yeah.
so I can get you these type of loans where, you know, where there's no proof income, no proof assets, where you're able to get up to $100,000 at prime plus 0.75. That's 3.75%.
Let's chat after this little.
Sounds like a ninja loan.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I was
that.
gonna say, yeah.
The
Wait,
difference is you're not lending the money. The difference is you're getting that ninja loan. The
Yeah.
difference is you're getting the 3.75%.
Here's my next question.
right?
What's
It's
the
not your
VIG?
money.
Okay, are we gonna have to bail out these lenders
Yeah.
at some point?
Yeah, but it's you got
What's
the money
VIG
though.
on this loan? And do big guys with you know, come visit you if you're a little late with the
Well,
payments?
like I said, you're getting the money. You're not giving out the money.
yeah,
See,
that's
there's
true
a difference,
too.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
If it was you giving out the money at those rates,
Well,
you
then
might be
I'm
questioned,
yeah, it's
right?
going to be a 2-point VIG every week till I see.
Okay, so Perry, it sounds like, and I think Canadians really, there's a lot of Canadians that really aren't being serious about a long-term financial plan. For
Yeah, you got to
themselves,
think
right?
long term, definitely. Yeah, a lot of these investment strategies are long term strategies.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Canadians that just aren't even doing anything about it, and you know, sounds
Yeah.
like the first step would be to come and speak to somebody
Oh, for sure.
like
Speak
you.
to somebody, get a
right?
second opinion, at least see what's out there, right? I mean, the banks are not the only guys out there that
That's
give
true.
out financial advice. There's a lot. And you
Loblaws does, for crying out loud. I mean, you can go shopping for milk and get a loan. For
President's Choice
President's
RRSP.
Choice RRSPs.
I have a President's Choice bank account. I think it's a
Absolutely.
great bank account. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
I'm going
is.
to plug them, but I think they're good because it costs you nothing.
It does. That's
and every
true.
time I use it, I get free groceries.
That's right. I
How
know.
can you beat that?
You can't. I think
You
it's
know?
a great. It's something that's really nice that they
I mean,
can offer back
I mean,
to
you
the
go
consumer.
to the bank, like whatever. I'm not going to mention any names, but they're going to charge you every month.
Absolutely.
Maybe the bank should start selling food.
well,
They are.
Yeah,
It's
they
selling
give you
everything
coffee
these
and
days.
donuts, but that'll
If
cost
you look what banks are doing, they're getting to everybody's business.
Yeah.
They are going to
Like, what do you
everyone's
mean?
business.
Like what?
Well, they're
Like-
getting into real estate, they're getting into insurance, they're getting into everything if you look
yeah.
at it. The
I
banks are hungry people, hungry animals, monsters.
Well,
So,
they are. They are monsters. I know. They're ruining our lives. Big bad banks.
But anyways, you know,
All
the
right.
key is to get, diversify, have a long-term objective,
Now, Perry, what is it? You know, what do you do different and better than everybody else? You know, what's the compelling reason why people should come and deal with you rather than someone else?
Well, that's a good question. I think the main reason is I'm personable. I know my clients very well. I tend to have a good understanding of what they come from and all that. I mean, I'm a self-employed. I've been involved in a lot of businesses in the past, so I know what it takes to run your own company, to be your own boss, to run an organization, to have employees. So I know what's involved in all that. I have a CA background, I have a good tax background, so I'm the big picture here. I offer you advice from anywhere from taxation to accounting to investments.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at the big picture here. I'm not just one little thing. I look at everything as a whole.
And are you? Do you work in one part of the GTA, or are you all over? You know, or
just,
does it even have? Is it even geographical? Is that even important?
Well, GTA is good. The car is
Yeah.
good. I've
Yeah.
got a few cars.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't start toll rolling like you guys had in your last interviewer.
It's coming. Sadly, true, but I think it's coming.
But I like your idea about the TTC pass.
That is a great idea. Absolutely.
But they got to make it a reduced rate, though.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, you mean to me to automotive?
Yeah, if you're going to force me to buy a
Right.
TTC pass for a whole year,
That
it
I
better
might
be a
use-
reduced rate. Because I'm a guy like me, I use it maybe once or twice a year.
Right,
That's the honest
same-
answer.
same
I
here.
can't go to a client in a bus.
I use it. No, exactly. And
It just
then
wouldn't work
same
for
with
me.
me too. I use it like really once or twice a week. That's it.
Yeah, I
Rest
mean,
of
I
the
would
time
probably
I'm-
use it once or twice a month, maybe,
Right.
just for fun. But
Yeah.
it better be a substantially reduced rate. But the difference is everyone's paying it.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's
Exactly.
paying it, and anyways,
It can offset a
Good
lot
idea.
of costs. You're right.
I like that idea. Did you come up with that idea?
I came up with that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Perry. Anything else you want to leave us with today? I mean, I think.
That's great. I'm glad
okay.
I came by. Glad I
Yeah,
had this
we're
chat.
glad
Great
to
to
have you
have you
come by
here.
and sit and talk about this.
And you should come back and we can talk about anything
Yeah,
else,
sounds good.
right?
Where do people find you, Perry?
Oh, they can just email me at perry@perrywong.ca or check out my website at www.perrywong.ca
Okay.
or you can just call me.
Terrific. Well,
right.
thanks again for coming in. It was a
right.
great conversation.
What's your phone number? We might as well give
Yeah.
it.
416-999-7011.
That's a
All
great
right.
phone number.
That is a great
I even have a
number.
1-877 number too. 1-877-999-7011.
There
the
you
same
go.
number.
That's the same
Exactly.
number. Nice.
I'm very easy guy to get over.
Yeah.
Okay, Perry. Thanks
All
for
right, thanks a
doing
lot.
this today.
Thanks, Perry.
Thank you.
And so let's just take a little
Okay.
break. We're gonna play some more of that the foreign films.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. Excellent.
And you like that? You said
Yeah,
it was,
no,
they
it's
were
just-
channeling the Who or something.
Yeah, it was
like
very
that?
reminiscent of The Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and we're gonna come back with Eric Peterson, jewelry designer. He's got some great stuff.
Yeah, he does. We were looking at that
And
before
we're
Barry
going
came
to
out.
come
Yeah.
back and talk all about it with Eric right after this here on thatchannel.com.
My heart can't help but love you. 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 Your heart